So let's just start. Your name, where you're from, and yeah.
I'm Kiko. I'm from San Diego, California.
Okay.
I'm Tongan, Samoan, Ashkenazi, Jewish, and Hawaiian.
Everything.
Yeah.
All right. So describe to me childhood from 5 to 15, and like what experiences formed you.
I would say I was born in Samoa, and American Samoa in Pango Pango, in a village called Whanaalu, and I was at my mom flew out to Samoa. My mom used to be a cop over there in Tonga, and she ended up, her brothers ended up becoming Marines out here in San Diego, California. And in the process, flying out to Hawaii, from Tonga to Hawaii, she had me in Samoa, and then she had my other brother, Siwa, in Hawaii, and then she had when we flew from Hawaii to San Diego, we had my other brother, George Yaosi, and then we had my sister Lesieri, and then later on we had our sister Leta. And 5 to 15, I grew up in Logan, southeast San Diego, off 30th and Marquette, one block behind the Pizza Hut. It used to be a Pizza Hut, but ironic how life turns out. Now, I won't fast forward to that part yet, but I would say 5 to 15. I was the oldest out of my siblings. I feel like I had to be protective of my family. I'm a product of prior marriage, and my mom left my real dad, and I didn't know about this till after I was like 15. So when my mom and them flew to Hawaii, that's when she met my stepdad, but I don't call him my stepdad, I call him my dad, because he brought me up, As any man could be a father, but not a real man could be a dad, But yeah, shout out to my dad. Anyways, we moved out to San Diego. My uncles and them were all military. My whole family's military. 5 to 15, we went to Martin Luther King Elementary. I grew up in a predominantly black and Mexican neighborhood. The Mexicans and the blacks knew who we were because we were like the only loud, big bone Islander family there. We went to Martin Luther King Elementary. I would say being an Islander we had some whites, but it was mostly like just predominantly a black and Mexican neighborhood. It's Barrio Logan, And 30th and Market was a different kind of era back in the 80s and the 90s. I grew up around a bunch of gangbangers and drug dealers. And I didn't know what it was, but they were just a bunch of people hanging around in front of their houses in different colors, wearing different colors in their neighborhood. Mine was everybody I know was wearing predominantly blue. All the essays had they had hairnets and cholos. My essays, shout out to my essays up there, shout out to all my Crips out there, and the Pyros and the Bloods. All y'all doing your thing out there in the streets, yeah, we'll get to that part. But it was a tough upbringing there because a lot of people are foreign to approach how they approach Islanders, so they don't know what it is, so it's part of like mankind for them to fear the unknown, so the curiosity gets the best of them. And I remember one time they were shooting up needles in the back of my yard, and my dad and my cousin and my uncles beat the brakes off of these dudes, man. It was like 20 dudes, and there was like 4 of us, 4 of my uncles. We sat on the front yard. We watched my dad and my uncles beat the brakes off of them. But it was, hand-to-hand combat. It wasn't like, wasn't like we were just shooting and killing people like they do nowadays. But yeah, I grew up in a neighborhood where it was like, we watched the crack epidemic in the late 80s, and then when the tweakers kicked in, like around the 90s, that's when the drugs really overflowed. Like, San Diego, California is like that era. We had tunnels. I don't know if y'all remember But we had tunnels of drugs coming straight from across the border over here. You know, I can't speak on that, but I remember seeing it on the news, and I was just seeing like a gang of people, my neighborhood, driving fancy cars and not have a job, but you're like, man, I want to be like that dude. I don't know where he worked at, but that dude wearing some flash, some saucy gear. Anyways, I would say close to like 91, 92, that's when the crack epidemic turned into full-blown crystal meth. And I watched all the tweakers, they were doing more crazy stuff. So they ended up moving us from there to Oak Park. Oak Park was right here off of the end of 54th Street. I call it East Dago. I still call it East Dago. It's like off of, where you get off Euclid and 94 East, you come over there by FAMR. We used to call it Fan Band back in the 90s. And we moved over there. It was kind of active. To be honest, it was active. Like in the 90s, kind of active neighborhood. They ended up gentrifying that side of the government bought our house, and they built this elementary school called Kimbrough. Over there, it's called Kimbrough. And we moved up out of there and moved out here to a Horseman. I went to junior high school at Horseman. I got kicked out of there. Then I went to Holy Spirit. And then when I graduated from there, I got kicked out of Horseman because it was like we got into a fight, and some essays pulled a knife on us, and we ended up beating them up, and then they tried to charge us with the knife, but the essays ran, and we were like, what the hell? And they're like, nah, that's your knife. All right, man, we're gonna carry a knife, we're gonna carry a machete. We're gonna chop down some banana trees. Anyways, long story short, we got kicked out. Mom said, okay, school's getting too crazy. She put us in the Catholic school, and I was in there from 8th grade in Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. And then that was the year Snoop Dogg's album came out, was off Death Row. Mm-hmm. Around that era, I think it was that era. Because I remember about the tape, and everybody was laughing on the D's Nuts. Anyways, I went to I graduated there in 93. I went to high school in 94, and that's when life went fast for me. I went to Mission Bay High School. They needed colored people in their schools. So back in the 90s, they had buses all around San Diego. Yeah. And that part of San Diego back in the 90s was predominantly Anglo-Saxon. Is that the correct way of saying it? They was predominantly Anglo-Saxon. So I was like, okay. And bro, we was going to Mission Bay High School. I remember I had a backpack. I had 2 40 ounces in there, a pack of Dominoes, some weed, and they would never kick us out of school. They would never kick us because they needed colored people there. Mm-hmm. It was like, but yeah, it was I would say those are the best years of my life was in Mission Bay High School. I got kicked out of there, and then I went to Crawford, and the same cop that kicked me out of Crawford followed me all the way to over here to Crawford and kicked me out from there, and I went to Garfield. Garfield was in North Park back in the 90s, and it was active. I mean, I was with the, young, I ain't got to say where I'm from because people that know me know I'm from. I'm not going to be on the internet doing all that extra stuff. Right. People that know me, people that only put them on a need-to-know basis, I'm not one of them that's going to air everything out that people that know me, But, it was, I went to the bathroom in Garfield. All the girls there were pregnant, and all the guys got out of the way. Now, you know what I mean? They were pushing strollers in the school. We're like, one girl had 2 strollers, bro. I'm like, what? Anyways, it was cool. I remember I got 5 fades in that school. And I mean, fades was full. Those of y'all don't know the slang of fade, that means head up. It wasn't no blind side, nothing like that. It was just, hey, you want to get that? I'm like, yeah, come on, let's get this out the way. And then, crazy part back in the 90s is when you caught a fade with somebody, you ended up becoming friends after that. Mm-hmm. You ended up becoming best friends after that. You know, even at Mission Bay, I had a good homie from Little Africa, Power, rest in peace, Little 8-Ball, Ishmael. Good dude, man. And I remember we got into it one time, and then after we fought, we became best friends. He was my best friend after that from Mission Bay High School. But I went from there to Crawford. Crawford was fun. I was on the football field. I was there with rest in peace, Lee Norman. And Coach Ivory and Rizzo. I was there with a gang of good dudes, you know. And 90s was active, you know. I wasn't like extra or not like that, but I was with the bullshit. I had an afro this big. I didn't care about combing my hair. I didn't believe I was all into the fast life, you know. I guess I grew up on the mentality of I'd rather be feared than love, because love will get you hurt. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just put fear in people, because if I put love, they don't play with me. So I'm like, man, think they fall in love. That's why, you know, even when people ask me now why I don't have kids, because I chose the street life over the. I was, you know, I was in the streets. I was, you know, I loved the life, because that's what I, you know, in my mental, I was just like so burnt out on some ego that I had that I thought it was like a false belief system that when I look back now, it was something who made me who I am today, but it's not something I glorify or something I push out there to the young, to the youth now, you know. It made me who I am today, you know. I'm not proud of it, but I don't frown on it, you know. I am here because of the hard road I took. And it was crazy because I did a lot of stuff out here, you know. Even God knows I'll take with me to the dirt, you know. There's one time we flew out to Michoacan and we hung out over there. And my boys were big time, you know. But they were Santa Muerte. And I didn't know what that was. And we go up in his house. I ain't gonna say too much what happened in the house, but they had like a shrine for the Santa Muerte, you know. And I went in there, and I swear I think I seen that statue smoking a cigarette, bro. It was crazy. But I went down there, hung out with them. They were doing some extracurricular activities. I was like, that ain't about me. But I know that throughout this whole time, right, the light of God was always in me, but I just didn't know it was in me. You know what I mean? And I just kept pushing it away because I was like, man, lo and behold, that's probably your subconscious, the good and the, you know how they have the cartoon, the good and the bad. And with me, I'm like, I was mostly pushing away the good, because I was like, you know what, let's get the bad, you know? But going throughout that whole journey from 5 to 15, I would say was my wilding out years, because I did a lot of stuff that only God knows that I'm not going to say on this, because it's gonna, you know, I'm not into speaking on the stuff, giving it power, because it can incriminate me. You just see what happened to Dirk. Anyways, but yeah, I don't want to dwell on it, but it made me a better person who I am today. I went from Garfield to a wild youth school over there off 30th and Oklahoma Boulevard, and all the girls there were all pregnant and all the dudes. Yeah. And it was crazy. Life was crazy. I was like, I love women, but I just wasn't like into them as I was into drugs and money and cars, you know. I had a bigger passion for the fast life, you know.
So was the fast life like a product of something missing at home, or was there something that you saw and was like, oh, I want that, or what was it?
Well, part of that was like me coming home was like in the back of my mind, I was feeling a void that I didn't get the love that I was getting from home, because we weren't poor, but me being a product of a prior marriage, I felt like there was some kind of facade that my dad was, you know what I mean, he was giving me, like, you know, he wasn't like embracing to me like he was some other siblings. And in the back of my head, it always like, you know, like, why do I get this kind of different love from him, you know? And then one day, you know, Mom's told me, like, you got a different dad. And I was like, Now you tell me, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. It wasn't really my mom. It was my mom's mom, my grandma, rest in peace. Grandma Tita. Grandma Tita was like, hey, you know, when she got mad, she would call me Matainiwa. And my culture, when he called me Matainiwa, that's like saying, I look like my dad from his island. You know, so it was kind of brutal. So I didn't know that there was like a different kind of love I was getting that I didn't get from my dad. But he was giving love to all my other siblings more than he was to me. You know what I mean? And I went to the streets to look for the love I didn't get from home. And when I went to my mom about it, she just kept, my mom's like, 30 years, retired, first female crew chief. Mom was a power feminist. She was like, you know, all about women power. She ran the family. The Tongan culture, yeah, the husband has a little bit of say, but the wife runs the whole house in all actuality, you know? She calls the shots. Your dad's job is just to keep the discipline and keep the rules and stuff in line, you know? But my mom, she was too busy at work. My dad was always, you know, favoring that side, and you know, in the back of my head, I wasn't getting the love that I was supposed to get, so I went to the streets for it. I went to fill a void that I felt drugs and alcohol and homies could fill, you know? But it was nothing compared to probably the subconscious damage that I was doing to myself, you know what I mean? Because deep, lo and behold, I was doing some fucked up things, you know, to vie for attention that I didn't get. So I went to the streets for it. And it was just, so I look back, I was mentally and emotionally immature at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it probably stemmed from, like you said, a lack of something.
Yeah.
Weren't watered enough. You feel me?
Yeah. Because words do two things. Words build big, beautiful trees, or words burn down forests. And I was just getting burned. Why you gonna come home to a house that's just gonna be like, you know what I mean?
So what did you do with all this pain? I mean, that's pain. That's fucking.
I drove myself into addiction. You know, I started smoking weed, and it gradually progressed into like weed, meth, sherm. You know, I used to smoke sherm. A lot of people don't know what that is, but you know, I don't want to go into detail. You can Google it, but it was gorilla piss, and it was a drug back in the 90s. It was. We gonna smoke a bit, all of it, not a little bit. But yeah, it was. I was wild, you know. And another thing was, like, I'm not gonna say I'm not full of myself. I don't have an overinflated ego, but I didn't really care about the way I looked. But there was a lot of times where the way I looked switched the temperature of the room. Like some dudes would be different around females when we get around them. Like I'm thinking I'm trying to shoot my shot at them, but I'm not. I just, go ahead, bro. I'm trying to make money. I don't give, you know what I mean? Right. You can go shoot your shot. I don't want her. You know, and it's not saying like I'm not an ugly dude, but I'm saying like I could, you know, I was a pretty handsome dude.
Like your presence was threatening.
Yes. Like I had a lot of dudes, like, you know, I even bring it up to some of the people that are close to me. I said, sometimes all white dudes, you know, they'll all of a sudden PDA their girl, you know, they'll grab the girl's hand and want to hug her and kiss her. That type, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, what I look like? Folks, Trace on and it's just steal your girl? Nah, I'm trying to smash through. I ain't trying to look at her. I don't break homes. I build them. Anyways, though. What happened with me was just like, I didn't really, I tried to fill the void with drugs and alcohol, you know. It wasn't like I was trying to, you know, subconsciously it was killing me, but, and that point in life, I was just like, fuck it. I'd rather ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. That's how my mental was. It was like, bond first, ask questions later. You know, worry about the results after. We just gonna go through it. But, you know, in hindsight in my head, I was like, damn. You know, so 15 was a crazy era, you know. It was 15, yeah, that was the year before Tupac died. 95, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Well, shit. Let's fast forward to 18. Let's say 18. So you're 18. At this time, you've graduated high school, or about to, or planning on.
I got locked up at one of my ex-girlfriends'
Shit.
prom.
Tell us about that. Yeah.
I went to jail to tuxedo. In the old San Diego County, haunted Central Jail. And I remember I go live. I got locked up at Humphreys by the Bay, and I went in the home in the tank, and everybody was clowning me. They were like, "Look, it's James Bond." Who locked up James Bond? Everybody told me shit. It was a nice tuxedo too. And then 18. I got locked, that was my senior year in high school, and then they were like, I caught that felony there, and my mom and they worked something with the DA, and then they sent me back to Doma. So I went to Doma. I was from the Kingdom of Tonga, from the South Pacific, right next to the Samoan Islands where I was born. Doma is Kingdom of Tonga is its own government. It's a kingdom from back in
right.
You know what I mean? Before Christianity, before they walk on volcanoes and they had chicken bones in the nose. Ain't no chicken bones in the nose. But you know what I'm saying. But
right.
Yeah, we go way back, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I went back over there because they were like, you know what, Kiko can't stay out here, because if he stay out here, he's gonna get more trouble. So yeah, I ended up getting sent to Doma, and I was 19. And that's when I went out there to go meet my real dad. He already got kids out there. So I already got, 4 out here, and then I got like 4 more out there. Siblings from his side. And when I met him, I lured him. What I mean by lured is I told his sisters, my aunties, hey, bring him over here so I can meet him over here. Right? And I guess the built up aggression that I had for this dude, like if he was really my dad, why the hell you didn't want to come see me type shit, So I lured the dude over there. And I laid him out. Flatline him. I dropped him. Bam! Stood over him. And I was like, man, you're a punk. And when I called my mom and I told, the word got around the village, I did that. And the word even came back to America about it. Then I knocked out my, I know my days on earth short, because of that. They say in the Bible, I don't know that all the time. That dude was never there. He was just a donor, And I think that was like a turning point in my life, because after that, I ended up becoming cool with my stepdad, because after I told him I laid him out, he was like, oh yeah? And I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, over there. And like, yeah. And kind of lo and behold, me and my dad, my stepdad became closer after that, But my as time went by, my dad knew my loyalties. One thing about me, I'm an Aries, and my loyalty is fierce. Once I'm loyal, I'm loyal 10 toes down, Till the ground pulls me down, I'm gone, you know what I mean? But I'm a true Aries to the form of, when it's confrontation and war and drama, I love it. I thrive on it. It turns me on. It's like some weird button inside of me. But yeah, when I laid him out, well, kind of rewind back. When I first got there, I fought these 3 brothers. Wait, 3 brothers I fought. Lualala, I fought Devita, and I fought Sefo. Sefo was like twice my age. And when I pulled up in the islands, a lot of guys, I'm pretty sure it's like that with Mexicans, pretty sure it's like that with people here from America that go back to their homeland. I went back to Dawn. Like I said, I don't care about my looks, but apparently the girls are giving me attention there in their island. And I'm over there like, pulling up, hey, what's up, I'm flirting with everything moving, young, dumb, trying to get something sprung, But they got me to come down to come drink over there by a graveyard in my mom's village. And my mom's village is right there by the ocean. So we went drinking over there. We left a nightclub called Blue Pacific. And we were over there at the nightclub, and the bar closed at 5 in the morning, so we wanted to go carry on our drinking by the beach. And I ain't gonna lie, I remember I got up to go pee, and this dude hit me from behind. And he hit me so hard that I started seeing bubbles in the sky. I'm like, damn, man, what the hell? While I'm peeing, I'm hitting my head like, what the hell? Man, I zipped my shit up and I maxed them out. I'm 19, this kid is like the same age. Next thing you know, his other brother runs up on me. His name's big ass rugby player looking man, dude. My avatar looking. You know what I'm saying? I'm over there 19 years old and I caught a fade with him. You know? This dude does not wear slippers. He walks on the ground. You know what I mean? I'm beating him up. I'm so tired. I've been drunk from the night before. And it's like the drunk where you don't do coke or meth, it's straight real drunk. You know what I mean? Out here in California, we could do, when you drink, get a little, hit that little thing. Okay, I got a bottle this time, a little energy pack. So I did that, and then I ended up beating him up, and then he had his older brother. He was like almost damn near 40. And I ain't gonna lie, I remember he jumped out of his truck, and I'm like, I'm finding a grown ass man. God damn, man. I'm like, man, I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. This rugby dude. Yeah. Oh, healthy avatar face. Oh, beast mode on here. He ain't got no neck. He got traps. I'm hitting him. I'm three-piecing this dude. But the only time I got him down was when I kneed him in the mouth, and then he fell to one knee, and I just kept digging him. As soon as he hit the ground and started sleeping, the other dude jumps out the truck. Says, hey, that's my brother. He puts his truck in the house. I'm like, God damn, I gotta fight with his 3 generations of brothers, man. I'm 19. I fought him, and then my cousin Sonny, shout out to Sonny out there in Goma. Sonny, he jumps in. Sonny's his age. Sonny grabs him, I got 2 punches off on that dude. And then Sonny grabs that dude and punches him in the mouth and slides him half of it out of the truck. Says, hey, this guy's from Mom's village. His mom is Malia Lutu. That's my mom's name. So, boom. They were like, who? Well, they're like Malia Lutu, And, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't say like I didn't walk away without no bumps and bruises. Right. You're lying if you tell me you caught a fade and you walked away with a perfect fade. Man. After Sonny did all that, nigga, I woke up, bro, both my eyes closed. I look like Willie Lump.
Look like Martin and shit.
Yeah, I fell down an ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. But the crazy part was, Mama's sister, right? Rest in peace, Maleta. Mama's sister was like, she said in my language, and I said, why? She goes, that means I'm going to go to the ocean and go get you some sand and put it in the bag and put it with some hot water. And in my head, I'm like, what's she going to do all that for? She goes, get up and look at the mirror. I got up, look at the mirror, it was like 2 slits. Hey, bro, you lying. I don't care who you are. People say you caught fans, you ain't never got no eye lumps or no bruises or big eyes or, scratches on your face. You lie. You ain't got hands like that. You ain't built like that. A lot of people be lying, put 10 on the 2, man. Right. They be lying, man. They be with the extra activities, man. I be like, nah, bro, wasn't me. I had my fair share of black eyes. I had my fair share of swollen eyes. I had my fair share of wins. I had fair share of losses. But I don't regret none of it. And she came, she put the sand and she put the beach sand inside a rag and tied it up. And then she put it in warm water and pushed all by like next day it was gone. Damn. It was some island stuff. Like, I don't know, I'm like, Auntie, where you learn all this? Find out I'm over here on some domestic violence, beat Uncle up too. You know what I mean? Because the one thing about me that I do love about my dad, Samuel, he never put hands on my mom, and I do love him for that. He always taught us, man, hey, would you want any of your sisters to come home with black eyes and bruises? Well, no. then why would you do that to a woman? So that kind of morals and instilled in me. You know what I mean? And kind of like.